What's going on, Notification Squad? What's going on, YouTube? Time to welcome to the jungle. Time to have a talk. Wait for some more people to join into the chat room. Hit that like button on the way in. Or, you can't hit dislike because I ain't said nothing yet. Shout out to Notification Squad. What's up, family? What's up? Hey, Shelly. Glad you said that. Shelly Sterling said, hey, handsome. Hey, beautiful. All right. For those of you who don't know what the 3% is, 3% of the men in the world are above 6'2". 3% of all men are 6'2". I'm 6'4". I'm officially 3%. This is difficult for me to say, but I'm gonna go into it. I was always raised to be modest, uh, but I am considered to be an attractive man. I always have been. So I'm over 6'2", classically attractive, single, and I make a nice living. 3%. Rebecca Lynn Pope made a video. Check it out. I'm going to link it in the description. Single. Yep. Single and available. That's right. I only have one child, my daughter, and she's from marriage. Rebecca Lynn Pope is a matchmaker, wife, Christian mother, such and so forth. She made this video, and the timing is incredible because she made this video about women's dating standards being unrealistic. Thanks, Cats. Women's dating standards being unrealistic. And she never said directly black women, but we know she was inferring black women. But a couple of weeks ago, Insecure had a broadcast, had this thing going on when people were talking about Lawrence is whack and this and that. So I've had a lot of guys had some interest in saying, hey, I'm like Lawrence. And I said Lawrence can be fixed. Lawrence has an image problem. Yeah, I know him. I fix Lawrence's all the time. I've had more men say, man, I want to see that. Not only I want to see it, I'd pay to see that. I had women to pay to see. I've had women to say that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it a step further. I know many men like myself who are single, black, 6'2" or higher, well, making a good income, attractive. So we're the ones that Rebecca Lynn Pope was referring to. We're also the ones that a lot of these response videos from women are referring to, and a lot of guys. When the funny thing is, I typically don't tread into this kind of stuff because it's kind of dating stuff, but I see a lot of the women, and one thing I notice is they all have no avatars, and regardless of what their opinion is, I'm like, you guys have no idea what we want. No one's, you think you know what we want. So I'm putting together a small group of 3% guys, all black. We're going to sit down and chop this thing up about this whole, what do our women's expectations unrealistic? I'm going to tell you this. In my time of living, I've had more women approach me who know right off the bat, there's no way in heck we are a match. None. And see, as a man, to say that, you're an asshole. As a man, if you were to say that, you're rude. As a man, if you were to say that, you're cocky. Okay, let's just ask, let's just be realistic. If you saw a classically attractive black woman with the body type everyone wants, and she was educated, she was single, she owned her own business, making a nice living, jumping out of a BMW, would you think a dude with 3 kids should run over there and holler at her? And he's driving a Civic? Men, we understand these things. Women, for the most part, think just because I'm cute I'm in the game. So as a man, you have to learn how to say no and be nice. It's bizarro world because I've also been a bouncer at a nightclub and I've seen some of the baddest chicks, and they just women. I mean, it's funny when you're an attractive woman, you can turn a man down like that, and nobody thinks twice about it. They don't call, one or two guys will call you the B word, but in general, nobody's gonna throw shade at you. If you're an attractive man and turn a woman down, you got to be a fag, you got to be lame, all these other kind of things. Women today, I'm going to say it, sisters in general, your dating standards are unrealistic. Of the guys that I know, the like-minded men, we don't want generally we don't want women like you. Let me tell you the kind of sister the average man wants. He wants a woman who's smart. That does not mean educated. She does not have to have a PhD, an MS, a BS. She just needs to be smart. We want women who are nice. We want women who are feminine. Typically, driven men don't want aggressive, driven women because there's no balance. We're both competing. A man who is 6'2", keeps himself in shape, wants a woman to keep herself in shape. I remember being on Match.com. Yeah, because it was like that. Me on Match.com. I write profiles for men. Again, I'm an image consultant. So a lot of you guys may not be able to check my website out, but I package people. I also help guys get ready for interviews, dates, men and women, but also online dating. I help guys write their online dating profiles. That's a professional service because a lot of guys fail online dating service profiles and women just laugh at them. I would have in my profile saying, hey, in the nicest way possible, here's who I am. Here's what I like. I cycle, so that means I'm a part of a cycle team. So every year I ride at least 5 100-mile races on a bicycle. Used to teach spin class. So in my profile, I would write, "Hey, I'm an athlete. I'm looking for someone who's athletic and in shape." And I even defined it. I said, "Let me define athletic because since it's a pretty liberal definition, if you're 5'4", you need to weigh between 115 and 135. That's athletic. If you're over that, cool. Not my taste." You know how many women I had to sit back there and read that and tell me? I had a woman who was 5'4", 210, straight up cuss me out because I wouldn't go out with her. I got my PhD and I'm this, I'm that. She was sending me pictures and this. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, let's flip this. If you were a man, if it's the other way around, if you're an attractive woman and a man like you approached her, would you go out with him? She said no. I was like, so why should I go out with you? Well, I just didn't think you would be that shallow. I mean, usually, a man is well written, is well spoken, such and so forth. Yes, there are a lot of women today who have unrealistic standards. Boris Kojo, Idris Elba, I've hung out with guys who are NBA players, actors, some of the people in entertainment and in general. Men want what they look like. They want attractive women. And women, here's the thing there's not a problem. If a woman has an avatar that has her picture, she's cool with how she looks. Notice that the women who are going to probably thumbs down this video are probably going to put me on some kind of hit list. And you're going to have to go deep to try to put me on some kind of hit list because I ain't said nothing rude. I'm just telling the truth. I've sat on relationship panels. I do relationships. Relationships to me are interesting. Women want Fabio. Women want unrealistic beyond the shadow of doubt. So here's what I want to try to do. I want to try to get together guys who fit that model. Now, 6'2", or hot or taller, single, attractive black men. Because people are talking about this kind of guy like he exists in a vacuum, like it's a thing. No, we're people. And to be a person like this, to be discussed almost in mythical unicorn like, you know, terms without anyone ever asking, what do you want? I got stories. I've lived a life. I invited you to her show tonight. Okay. Yep. BGS, how are you, sir? Um, I still want to get you on the show too to talk about who you are behind the scenes. I'm working on that Lawrence video, and I think this dovetails perfectly into this because most of my clients are Lawrences. You know how many times I've been called lame, this, that, because I don't. Well, anyway, it's off the subject. So here's my thing. If you're a man over 6'2", if you're single, if you're black, hit me up. Let me know if you'd like to be a part of the hangout, the discussion. I'm going to gather some demographic information about you. Thank you very much. I'm going to gather some demographic information about you because um, we're going to be challenged. If we sit here and talk on an open Google Hangout and people can't see you, they're going to think we're lying. Uh, but I think it just would help to have a sample set. Some people say, what do you really want? Um, because I know you're out there. You hit me up all the time and you tell me about, man, how weird you feel. I'm gonna be honest. It's weird to be a black man over 6'2" in this country. Um, how can I say this? We're family. If all the women, if most of the women in Black America want men of my ilk, I've always had my choice of 10 plus to 1. Always. It's always been that way. No matter where I am, it's usually 10 to 1. Go to Atlanta, it gets ridiculous in Atlanta. It was 30 plus to 1 because the amount of black people, then a gay black population. So the only thing that really kept the thing that kept me from being such a dog and a hoe and all other kind of stuff and just running through women was my father had 13 children. I promised myself I would never become that guy. Now, Laquan, you're 5'11". The 3% mark starts at 6'2". See, 6 foot is one thing, but 6'2" is 3% of the population in the world. But think about it. Ask yourself the question: if you were the part of the population where you could have pretty much any woman, you fit almost any woman's type, what would you do? That's any woman, any black woman, and then also women of other races. Because if they're going to date a black man, they're like, if I'm going to deal with those slings and arrows, I want the cream of the crop or the best of the best. But here's one thing I've noticed: 3% black men almost universally want black women. Boom. Almost universally want black women. So much to the fact that we will go beyond. We will deal with the mess, the anger, the attitude, and all this other kind of stuff. And you would think we would have it easier because we're so wanted, right? We're so valuable. We're so sought after. You know, you're over 6'2". You make 6 figures. You drive a foreign car. You got a college degree. You own your own business. But guess what, ladies? Those are the guys you tend to start calling Lawrence. So do you really want it? No. That's why you hear so many black men saying your expectations are unrealistic. Because even when you get that physical body type, if he ain't Tupac with a PhD, if he's not the dude off Power, that's just what it is. Then you get upset because black men decide to go MGTOW, MRA, it more, and just say, I'm not dating. I've been in a serious relationship for 3 years. And it's not because I don't have choices. I'll get into that in another stream. The dating world today is crazy. Crazy. And as someone who has a little bit higher, I have a higher public profile because I'm on YouTube, such and so forth. I am more methodical, more thoughtful about how I date, what I do. Um, and I know there are other men out there like it. Tell you about it, Mr. Samuels. Oh yeah, bruh. We're gonna have to set up the house and set it in the car. I can't do it from the. I can't do it from the car. I don't want to do it from the car. I want to do it from the show and have folks call in. Yeah, you're 41 and no kids. You understand? Yeah, one of my friends here in Oklahoma. He's an entrepreneur just like myself. He's my ace. He's 43 years old. Never married, no kids. Has the same problems. So, to all the women out there who say you want an accomplished, attractive black man with these credentials, and say there are none out there, yes, they are. Tons of them. I've known Lawrence's my entire life, but I've yet to find a Lawrence who gets treated the way people say they would treat him if they found him. Let me say that again. You would think that if you're at the top of if you're at the pinnacle of all these things that women say they want, and you got all these women trying to get you, 10 to 1 black women, all these other women, if you finally say, okay, I want to get with you, Kathy, you, Deborah, you, Shanika, you think Kathy, Deborah, Shanika would be like, oh, yes, I got one. Nope. You get in a relationship, they treat you just like Issa did Lawrence. That's the truth. Lawrence accepts a 50 cent swag. And exactly, those are two different people. Unrealistic. We're going to have this conversation, folks. Always a power struggle. Yes, sir, master teacher, always a power struggle. And ultimately, I think we know where the ultimate problem comes from. In the black culture in particular, we flipped the paradigm and allowed women to define what manhood is. We've allowed women to say what they want instead of making themselves wives if they want to be wives, and then allowing themselves to be picked. Guys, if you fit this demographic, if you fit this mold, you want to be on a hangout, let's talk about it. Because hell, I don't know about you, but I feel really weird looking at some of these videos sometimes. And I'm like, I feel like I'm under a glass dish being examined and poked apart. But hey, let's talk. Till next time, talk at you later.